Good morning, everybody. It is Twitter Trivia Wednesday right here in the Morning Blitz. Our first question for you is, which Star Wars film did Ewok show up in? Find out next, right here on the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel, and I am the host of this awesome show you're listening to, the Blitz Morning Show. Alright, before that little bit of an entrance, I did ask you the very first question for Twitter Trivia Wednesday. The question is, which Star Wars film did the Ewok show up in? The answer, Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. You know, when it comes with Star Wars, it was one of those movie series that I was obsessed with when I was younger, because it came out late 70s, early 80s, which I was just a young little buckaroo back then, because, I was born in 79, so you can figure out the math. But it was just absolutely interesting on what Star Wars was back in the day and how awesome it was. It was so groundbreaking. But now as time goes on, it doesn't, I don't know, I never got into it. My kids somewhat did. But me personally, I haven't, which kind of sucks. It was a great series, but now it's grown into something bigger and a lot more questionable. What do I mean by questionable? Well, the company who now owns the rights to Star Wars is none other than Disney Films. That company, over the last 5-6 years, has grown unbelievably huge to the point where you start to question it. Because you have Disney, you have Pixar, you have ESPN, then now you just have Fox. On top of that, Disney has decided to take all their films from their vault, even with newer ones, like with Pixar. So you have your Toy Story, your DreamWorks, I do believe, movies. And they're going to be an online streaming service, just like Netflix. One of the downfalls with this is the people who have lived with Netflix and watched Disney movies, like myself, for example, we'll probably have to get another subscription of $15 a month just to make sure our kids are happy. It is absolutely insane. It is what it is. What can you do? But what do you think? Is Disney getting a little too big for their britches? I don't know. Speaking about Disney, the trailer for Toy Story 4 has come out, and it's a little interesting. It shows more of the characters, plots, storyline, tear sheds, just simple things like that. It's just getting to the point now where you cannot make people happy at all. You can do everything under your power. You can get everything almost down to the T. But yet, people still will not be happy unless it's their way. Some of the things that I've been reading online has been absolutely insane. For example, people now are starting to complain about Andy's looks. What do I mean? Well, one of the posts says, within the last, 14 years, Andy's youth look has had 4 different changes. He's one of the youngest people to have 4 different plastic surgeries and succeeded. Let me explain. Well, of course, the first one came out in like 1995. All right? So, it's new technology. It was groundbreaking at the time. They couldn't do what they wanted to do because they didn't have very trained people to do it. The technology, they were trying to get it more justified, more greatness. All right. Then, as Toy Story 2 came out, they were starting to be more precise things in the background, the characters. Toy Story 3, the graphics and the animation was starting to be some of the best that Toy Story has ever had. And now with the 4th, it got to the point where it looks absolutely magnificent. One of the biggest issues that, like I said, people are having is in every episode, Andy's face looks newer and more detailed. All right. To me, I think that's got to be one of the most dumbest complaints that you can ever have. Just sit down, enjoy the movie, stop nitpicking everything. If you want to start making everything absolutely perfect through your eyes, I'm pretty sure Disney will take you on and you can sit in front of the screen and you can do it yourself. And plus, besides, I do not understand why Andy's face doesn't get upgraded every single year that it comes out. You just got to keep it the flow. There's some times where I'm pretty sure some of the kids of today have never seen Toy Story 1. They like Toy Story 3 because it was probably one of the first ones that worked. And if you're like me and seen Toy Story 1 back in the day, that's what you grew up with. And sometimes you gotta change. Like, for example, with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 1980s, baby. I'm used to that one. But then you take a look at Ninja Turtles today, totally different. Just stop complaining. Jeeper, creeper. I don't know. It's just weird, I tell ya. People just bitch too much. They just need a freaking hug. If I ever see you and you need a hug, just ask and I'll give you a hug. If I don't go running the other direction. So yeah, it's been interesting. What's more interesting is the lack of content that I've been trying to find over the last couple days. It sucks. I got a few that is worth it, but a little bit later, I gotta make sure the weekly wind-up on Friday is a hell of a lot better than what I have today. But you know, the Twitter Trivia Wednesday is one of a kind. Speaking about one of a kind, let's move on to the second trivia question for you. Alright? What was the first feature film originally presented with sound? That question again? What was the first feature film originally presented with sounds? Well, how do you think you know? Find out right after the break, right here on the Blitz Morning Show. great commercial break, I tell you. And we are back. This is the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel. And I have the answer for the question that I asked right before the break. What was the first feature film originally presented with sound? The answer? Jazz Singer, 1927. Ooh. Yeah, that was one movie that I've never ever heard of. Or even, well, I guess I've never seen or even heard of that movie. Heard of. I made it funny. Alright, let's kind of mosey on to the next few topics that I have to talk about. I know, there's a lot of people who don't like baseball, and I know there's a lot of people who don't like sports, but this is one of the trending topics over the last few days, and I figured that I could get you guys to ask yourself this question. Sports. Mike Trout got a $432 million deal for 12 years. And are you thinking, holy crap, that's absolutely insane? Well, here's the catch. It works out to be $36 million a year. Are these athletes actually worth that much money? I talked to the boss about it, and the boss says, well, most of these major baseball corporations have their own TV channel. So, of course, they get tons of money through that, which can afford these players. But it really, is a 12-year contract even good? I don't care about how much money he makes, but it's more of the length of the contract that I question. 12 years. There's guys that they don't want to be on a team that long. And if you basically say that you're rebuilding a team, you're trying to get the pieces to work around you, that could take forever. If you take a look at the Edmonton Oilers, for example, they keep getting the number one draft pick, but they can't get their feet planted to get that team going somewhere other than down. My question for you guys is making $36 million a year worth it? I don't know. All I know, for $36 million, tell me anything, I'll almost do anything. If you want me to learn baseball, I will learn baseball. I will play baseball. I will hit ball. Ball will fly. I run. I'll probably die by the time I hit first base because I'm kind of out of shape and absolutely slow. But, you know, things happen. All right. Okay, this just happened. Google new gaming platform announced. This is going to be interesting to see where Google takes this from. Are they... how to word it? Xbox, they do have a streaming service. It's about $12 a month. And they have a bunch of games that you can basically download to your Xbox 360 to play anytime, anywhere. So if you didn't want to buy a game like, say, Forza 4, all you would have to basically do is download it, play it, and once you're done, you just delete it. Then you can go get a different game, which is a cool idea. It's basically like renting games all the time. Like, you don't have to go to Blockbuster, Movies Gallery, Movies Galore, Gone Hollywood Video. Great idea. Great concept. Google's a little behind. But here's one of the weird things. With this new gaming platform announced, instant access to streaming games on your browser demos on YouTube videos without any downloads. Now, what else? Can be played on any platform from phones to tablets, as well as crossplay. Weirdest part about it is the new controller looks like it is a crossbred child between a PS4 and an Xbox One controller. I'm dead serious. If you take a look at the controller, it looks like an Xbox One. It's got the white, it has the shape of it, but yet the buttons, more or less, look like a PlayStation 4. I know. It's to the point where controllers are more or less going to look like the generation of PlayStation or Xbox, because that's what people have officially become used of and go for it. Weirdest question for this is, are they trying to tackle PlayStation more than Xbox video gamers? Because if you talked with Xbox gamers, they do not like how the PlayStation controller is, where you have the directional pad parallel with buttons, then the toggles are underneath. I don't find that very comfortable. Where Xbox, they have the toggle on top parallel with the buttons, then underneath is the directional pad and the other toggle. Plus, I've been playing Xbox since Xbox One back in the day of the early 2000s. So I'm kind of a fan of that style. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what Google does. And if Google is just like one of those old-style gamers where it more or less S's the bed. We're going to hit the break. Do I have anything? Oh, yeah. I have one more trivia question, so we're going to hit the break now. Then when we come back, I'll tell you the answer and also what is going on with the website and the future plans of the show. All right. So the question is, who was the head singer for the rock and roll band The Crickets? That question again. Who was the head singer for the rock and roll band The Crickets? Find out right after the commercial break, right here on the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel, and I will see you right after this. And we are back on the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel, and I'm about to tell you what the answer is to the question that I just asked. Who was the head singer for the rock and roll band The Crickets? The answer? It was Buddy Holly. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Well, depends on, I guess, on your generation. I know of Buddy Holly, I know the Big Bopper, etc., etc. I'm pretty sure that if I dug a little bit deeper into my brain of useless knowledge, I could have probably came up with that answer. But otherwise, yeah, I think that would have been a massive flop. All right. Over the last couple days, I have found a new platform for podcast hosting. All right. So currently right now I'm trying to figure out what to do and how to do it to the point where I can transfer all my shows over to it and still keep the feed so you guys don't lose anything. Sadly, I think I'm going to be losing a few of my feeds, which means some of you are going to totally 100% miss out on upcoming shows and stuff like that. The reason why I'm switching is nothing against the platform that I'm using now. I just feel that with the new platform, they're one step ahead, and there's certain things that I can do on it which I can't on the current. I'm still debating. I'm in the stages of going for it, but yet at the same time, I'm on the stages of kind of backing up just a little bit. It's kind of scary if you ask me. I'll let you know more as well. The website is up and going. It's on day 3. Joshua, he's looking into it to see what is taking so long for the website. Hopefully they can help me out at Radio Public. So make sure you still follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Blitz Morning. You will find out when we are live, and we can go from there. Alright guys, I'm almost at my destination, so I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for tuning into the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at theblitzmorningshow@gmail.com. Like I said, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Blitz Morning, and you will find out more about it. Also, there's a little section on the new website, once it gets going, that has kind of like a little blog where anytime that I need to inform you guys on what's going on with the show, I will post it there so you guys can stay up to date. Like, for example, if Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter goes down, I can do it that way, and you guys will not be lost. Well, I'll talk to you guys in a few days for the weekly wind-up. Thanks for tuning into the Blitz Morning Show. My name is Toby Brendel, and I will see you very soon.